A Brief History. On July 9, 1903, the future leader of the Soviet Union, Joseph Stalin, was exiled to Siberia for 3 years, financing the communist movement in Russia by robbery, extortion, and kidnappings. It is no surprise that Stalin, Boris Zhugashvili, was arrested several times and sent to Siberia, where he invariably escaped to return to fomenting revolution. Vladimir Lenin likewise served 3 years of exile in Siberia for sedition. If punitive exile was supposed to erase revolutionary zeal, it appears not to have worked. Digging deeper. Many future leaders of countries had found themselves in jail prior to becoming the person in charge, both revered national icons and history's criminals. Among the infamous variety, Adolf Hitler did prison time for his unsuccessful beer hall putsch attempt at a coup and served 9 months of a 5-year prison sentence. The former jailbird engineered the costliest war in human history as leader of Nazi Germany. Another infamous leader, Saddam Hussein of Iraq, fled the country when an assassination attempt against the establishment failed. Conspirators were sentenced to death, a fate avoided by Hussein's flight to Syria and Egypt. Upon his return to Iraq, Hussein was jailed prior to release and partaking in the government. Another Middle Easterner that ran afoul of the law prior to taking charge was Ayatollah Khome of Iran. Khomeini got himself arrested in 1963 and again in 1964, detained for 6 months that time, before he was exiled for almost 15 years. He returned in 1979 amid the Islamic Revolution that deposed the Shah, and Khomeini ended up in charge. Among those leaders revered, more or less, worldwide as great men that had spent their time in prison, Mahatma Gandhi served 2 years of a 6-year sentence for sedition from 1922 to 1924, was arrested every so often after that, and served 2 more years incarcerated in a palace from 1942 to 1944. When India finally won independence with his leadership, Gandhi was assassinated in 1948, an ironic end for the architect of nonviolent protest. Another leader given accolades by the world that spent time in jail was Nelson Mandela of South Africa, sentenced to life in prison in 1962 and serving 27 years before being released and becoming president of the country from 1994 to 1999. I cannot think of a U.S. president that did any appreciable time in jail or was forced into exile before taking power, so do not take the experience of these listed leaders as a roadmap to success, at least not here. As a question for my students and subscribers, what other famous leaders can you think of that spent time in prison or exile? Please let us know in the comments section below this video. If you like this video and would like to receive notification of new videos, please feel welcome to subscribe to History and Headlines and become one of our patrons. Your viewership is much appreciated.